Priya, welcome to the show. Priya, my first question coming to you is client is witnessed in the Indian bond deals as well. So from here on, what's the kind of direction that we're expecting?
The decline into the Indian bond yields have come forward because there is a high that is happening right now. As far as Indian rupee paring the losses, it has come on the back of good recovery that we have seen into our domestic equities market, as well as crude oil cooling off. So if you look at the crude oil momentum itself, where it was around $120 and so on, it's trading around 105, 106. WPI crude is trading around those levels. So I think these two factors have definitely put in, appreciative tone into the Indian rupee. Whether it will continue, I think if you look at the overall scenario of the Indian rupee, I think RBI will refrain from going for a rate hikes at least into the on a shorter term or into the upcoming policies, at least for the next two upcoming policies. Because even if you look at its statements, whether it's on a submit platform or any other RBI statements, they have definitely said that they are keying the inflation numbers, but obviously they don't want to go for a rate hike at an early stage of the economic recovery. So keeping that in consideration, I think even if you look at the other factors such as trade deficit, now obviously there is, as the March end nears, the numbers that one will be eyeing on is where are the import bills, how far will the trade deficit will widen. So these two factors, and of course, even if you look at the capital inflows, that have been dampened up. So I think these few factors will put some dent into the appreciative tone. So overall scenario will be that Indian rupee will continue its depreciation phase, because obviously in the past, even during this Ukraine and Russia phase, we have seen that minimum intervention has been done by the RBI. So that will be continued into the coming months as well. So probably on the most depreciative levels, it can test 77 or 77.50. But for the April contract, I think it will range around 83 to 75.35 range.
Right. So with this, if you see the yen as well, it's down almost 2.5%, and it's the worst since in March 2020 to the dollar. What's the direction are you expecting on the yen from here?
In Japanese yen, I think the divergence into the policies that we are seeing between the Bank of Japan and the Federal Reserve. Okay, so this is definitely putting a negative sentiment towards Japanese yen. Secondly, like I said, high global debt sell-off is happening. And during this phase, Bank of Japan came out with unlimited buy of 10-year bond yields. Because of this high sell-off that is happening, it is leading to increase into the long-term yields. So on that, Bank of Japan came out to buy unlimited bonds of the 10-year government bonds. So this led to further decline into the Japanese yen that we saw in the yesterday's sessions. So there is a lot of stimulus that is happening into the Japan economy. And unless there is some cap that will be put onto this stimulus, unless some step is taken into that direction. Because if you look at the economic recovery, that has not been fairly well. The demand is still weak, leading it, if you look at the inflation numbers as compared to the other countries, it is quite low. And this is indicating that the economic recovery is on a slower pace. The demand is on the slower pace. So I think as taking all these scenarios and collaborating with the Bank of Japan governor statement, that he will continue to put into the stimulus in order to get the economic going, get the demand going. there is not very much that could be said when it comes to yen appreciation phase. So I think it will continue to depreciate unless some step is taken in order to cap the stimulus into the Japan.
Right. So overall, that's with regards to where the yen goes. Simultaneously, if you see in terms of the euro, that's edged on the positive side today as the dollar index has been cooling off. Are you expecting this kind of positive move in terms of the euro to continue from here on?
I think for the intraday sessions, as you know, the Russia and Ukraine negotiators will meet in Turkey today, and there is an anticipation or an anticipation of that. We have seen dollar index correcting a bit into the intraday sessions, and this is leading the gains for the euro and the pound in the intraday sessions. But overall, the numbers, the inflation numbers will importer of gas from it will definitely put a dent onto the energy prices and thus I think 1 or 2 day appreciation is something that we are looking into the euro USD or into the euro INR. Otherwise, I think it will continue to struggle until some cool off happens into the Russia-Ukraine situation.
Okay. So with all of this, what are the kind of key strategies that you would recommend, Ria?
For the Indian rupee, I think 76.20. So this is with respect to the April contract. Monthly April contract 76.20 will remain as a very important support, and a breach or a breakdown of this level will lead to a loss, the momentum of the USD INR towards 76, 75, 98. So pay attention to the breakdown of this levels. As far as resistance is concerned, 76.55 will prove a very strong resistance into the USD INR. The second strategy that you can go forward is going long into the Euro INR above the level of 84.45. Keep a very strict SL at 84.15 with the target at 84.72. So these are the two strategies that you could follow into the coming sessions.
Right. So overall, that's the kind of view coming in with regards to currency markets as a whole. Thank you, Ria. Thank you, participants, for joining in as well.
Thank you, Viren.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.